Welcome to round 3, where gambits are put into action. And the points do matter. We begin with absolutely epic Bowser boss battle music from Super Mario Galaxy. I love it, but that's not the point of this. We begin with Vile and Spark versus a very interesting choice, Technus. Out of all the Danny Phantom villains, I kind of like that Technus is the first to be used. You know, he's just kind of out there. Most people would run immediately to Vlad, maybe Dark Danny. Technus is cool by me. You know, despite the fact that over in Disney vs. non-Disney villains, I basically turned him into cannon fodder. But here he seems to be holding his own. Alice and the Queen of Hearts both get through the dimensional portal, but they each end up at very different locations. The Queen of Hearts reestablishes her base here, as she did in very short work of time, erecting that podium and everything. But as it turns out, she's got to deal with the Red Queen from American McGee's Alice, which I think is just absolutely beautiful horror artwork. Now, a lot of people say it's the most disturbing game ever made. I actually, you know, I watched a Let's Play of it. Perhaps you have to actually play it to get the full effect, but yeah, I think I've seen scarier. Maybe this is just because I go into it expecting horror. I get satisfied with horror. I'm not, like, surprised or anything. It's good horror, though. Nice job of twisting everything in the Alice mythos, referencing everything, like Alice in Wonderland fans. Just find everything in it. Trickmaster is taken down. I just found it really kind of funny. The Trickmaster's still is like this giant boss, but you know, you only fight it when you've shrunk. In reality, the Trickmaster is about as tall as Donald Duck. Trivia! So really, all you'd have to do is punch that thing in the face and it'd fall over. And the Red Queen eats the Queen of Hearts. It's the last we're gonna see of her. Lockjack and Barrel have gotten to their trusty little lock-in bathtub. And they're on a mission to infiltrate Dr. Robegman's... Yeah, I still haven't decided what to call him. Infiltrate the Sonic Villain's lair. Where it gets kind of funny, because 3 tiny little trick-or-treaters are going to end up facing off against, you know, this great and powerful mad scientist and his hyper-weaponry. Pumpkin bombs! What, did you steal those from Hobgoblin? What's next? Skull bombs? Ganondorf is still watching things go down. Decides to give commands to Bowser. I do like how Smash Bros. Made these guys into bros. You know, Ganondorf and Bowser are probably the 2 most iconic Nintendo villains. As different as they are, I think it makes a weird sort of sense that they be friends. And Hades summons the Ice Titan to get rid of Bowser. Want me to go super nerd on you? There is a canon name within the Disney universe for this Titan. Hydros. Remember that if you ever want to either really impress or really annoy your friends at parties. Be like, do you know that the Ice Titan from Disney's Hercules has an actual name, and it's Hydros? The others all have names too, but I didn't bother looking them up because this is the only Titan that appears in this round, so...
I knew that snow cone wouldn't cut it. I need a real Titan. Stay too.
And so Hades goes to find a monster that won't melt if brought near a gun. Next up, Razorbeard. I have no idea where he's from. And there's so much source material here that I just don't know. People are going to be commenting all up like, X is from Y, why don't you know this? I thought you were a nerd. You're nerd enough to know that its name is Hydros, why don't you know where Razorbeard's from? You little hypocrite, you. Versus Otto. Can't even think of Otto without thinking of Windman's griping about how much he hates Otto. This fight actually makes really good use of him, though, having him command the robot army. The story is actually that Razorbeard tried to install Otto on his ship, but Otto's going rogue. Actually, I like seeing how different tournaments take different approaches. Some of them use magic editing to make Otto into a physical fighter, while this kind of has him taking control of the entire switchboard and making stuff happen from different places. And here is where a great gambit begins to be introduced. The Clash of the Century. One of Maleficent's own versus Master Xehanort. Jafar thinks he can take him, which, given that he's Jafar, you know, kind of has the right to believe he can challenge anybody. I know everybody loves Master Xehanort. I don't see the big deal. I feel like his gambits rely a lot on luck. Like, if the characters hadn't acted in a very specific way in reaction to what he said, he just would have totally been screwed. I know later on there was some stuff about time travel introduced. I kind of stopped paying attention to this series after Birth by Sleep. I was kind of disenchanted. Put it mildly. Yeah, so Jafar tries to send out one of those weird clones, but it's no match for Master Xehanort, and I bet probably doesn't even compare to the real thing when it comes to Jafar. So, Maleficent and Xehanort forge an alliance. That's right, they forge an alliance. Which is nothing short of awesome. Though, you get the sense that one or the other of them will eventually go traitor. It's just a matter of how long. DDD contacts Nightmare Industries to see about getting his new shipment of monsters in, which does not include Poppy Bros. Jafar is not happy that he got defeated. I mean, who defeats Jafar? Who humiliates Jafar and gets away with it? So, he makes a wish to be able to travel between the dimensions without having to deal with fussy portals. Here's where Alice turned up. Back home, Black Wolf is following Maleficent's orders, and he's called upon the services of Shan Yu. Which is really funny seeing as Shan Yu was responsible for his death in Disney vs. Non. Enter Zurg, another cult favorite. Oh, I forget who this even... This guy was just in the last round, I already forgot his name. I don't want to be the Megavolt today. What is this guy's name? I forgot. I'm sorry, I failed you all. What's this? Is Xehanort planning behind Maleficent's back already? Brig, deal with it. Yeah, I was not a fan of Birth by Sleep as a whole. It just had a lot of flaws in my opinion. I seem to stand kind of alone on that. But one of the things I do appreciate about it is that it really gave Bragg a very in-depth character arc that really worked for his advantage, and makes you think about him differently as a whole in the series. So now things are starting to get real. We've got Maleficent building up forces in 2 realms. Black Wolf is starting to call people together. Xehanort's gambiting. Otto was actually useful. DDD is starting to get monsters called up. And have I forgotten anything? Oh yes, Technus. He's still got more to do. So, shall we move on?